Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. This is going to be part 2 to the NQ backtesting I was doing before of June 2022. So yeah, let's get straight into the video. So I fast forwarded it to just before New York Open. So we're going to start on the 4 hour, and from what I can see on the 4 hour, we took this sell side liquidity, so we are below a swing low on the 4 hour. So for me, this is a place I'd look for potentially a long. Now, bear in mind, it seems that Friday coming into today has literally just been dumping completely. I mean, you can look at the daily to kind of get an idea of price. Price is now in a daily, or it has been, or it is in a bullish FVG, but obviously I'm using the 1 minute entry function here. So for me, it's the 4 hour. So the 4 hour indicates that I'd be looking for a long position. Now, what I'd want to do, I'd want to go to my 15-minute market structure, and I need my market structure to be aligned with my bias. So I'm going to skip to now New York Open. So right now we look like we are just consolidating. I forgot to show it is a Monday, we have no news today. It would be wise probably to just skip out today because we have no news Monday, and you can kind of see the rest of the week we have a lot of news. That would be wise, but then again we will still look at price. So what I can see, we have some low resistance liquidity resting here, here, and here. See if we take this, so we can drop down to 1 minute and just kind of skip ahead. So straight from the get-go at 9:30 we are just expanding higher. So this would be pretty much the top of our range, and then the low of the range would be here. So still see what happens. For me, there's just, yeah, it's just from the open it literally has just exploded up. Again, no news today. I wouldn't consider anything, to be honest, right now. This could be a Judas swing as well, but we will see. So we wait for maybe the first 15 minutes. So from the get-go now, what can I see? Well, we've clearly swept liquidity up here. We're in a bearish FVG. Price has been strongly bearish. On the 4 hour, price is at a place I'd look for a long. However, though, there is clearly a bearish potential unicorn, which there is now. Now, you could take this if you felt comfortable. However, you have your accumulation, potentially open manipulates. You can kind of see here, we are probably going to go for these lows. Would I take this if I saw this happening? Again, if I was sticking to my bias of the 4 hour, I don't think I'd want to be taking this. But then again, the model will present. Let's see if this works. So you get tapped in here if you did enter it, and you get stopped out. Now, do you see why it's important how the 4 hour we're below a swing low? That's why you would look for a long. And there was nothing on the, well, on the 15 minute we took buy side liquidity, and there was a bearish FEG here. But our bias, we don't have any alignment here. We are just, staying in this range. There's nothing going on here. So yeah, this would probably be a good day to skip. We still haven't swept any of these lows here, so that's what I would be wanting to see if I was to even look for a long. We're starting to sweep now these lows, and you can kind of see our stop loss placement and where price is now. And look at that. Obviously, if you had a better stop loss placement, it is possible that you could have got this win, but this is just yeah, it's not amazing. It's respected this breaker block, but where would your stop be? You have to ask yourself. So yeah, bearish one won that. Still bearish, clearly. We've now taken all of this sell side liquidity, so I'd be interested to see what happens from this point. But then again, as I said, it's a Monday. There's no news. We can see what happens now. Understand on the 15 minute, none of this does not look bullish one bit. I honestly, if I saw this, I don't think, and if I was obviously I'm looking for longs, I don't think I'd just skip the Monday. Yeah, like it coming up to 10:45, we're still going lower. Like, yeah, there's just nothing here, and it's probably like when we go into lunch, it will probably reverse. Look at this. This is crazy. Just dumping, dumping, dumping. Market structure still does not show any signs to be bullish. Now you could say you have this stop hunt here. You have a low. I'd class that as the high. That's the low. That's the displacement up. So highest up close candle before the leg down that took liquidity would be here. You do have a FEG within it. Personally, I wouldn't take this. I want to see a 15-minute CSD. That doesn't give you an entry. Go to the 5-minute. We're starting to get that CSD here on the 5-minute. As I say, we're going into lunch. That's when you usually get the reversal. So if you didn't catch this move, potentially you could look at this move. I personally wouldn't use this. So now we're probably getting accumulation, manipulation, potentially we're going to get distribution. If we were to get a CSD in this example, you'd want to see a close above here. Now this would take you into lunchtime, so it's potential that PM session could show signs of a reversal, and you see here this breaker block gets tapped into, not this one here. This one gets tapped into. This is really the low, really. The high, sorry, of this leg down. I wouldn't class, like you have the high here, yes you have a low there, but that's kind of the move there. It looks a bit like that, doesn't it? But you can see how price comes back into this. Stop at like 20, 20 and a half, and then you get your two other. Quite nice that move as well there. So yeah, when you have like a day like this and price is just literally just dropping and it gets to like 11 a.m., 11, sometimes around 11:15ish as well, kind of see where price is and maybe expect that going into lunch it probably could reverse. But then again, accumulation, manipulation, now we're probably getting distribution. Now be aware we have got 15-minute FEGs here, so there could be a potential continuation short. It's definitely on the cards, but as well bullish bias. So just kind of seeing what happens. So we're tapping it into here, so high, low, slight stop hunt there, and then you can see here now after we tapped into this 15-minute FEG here. I think we had a slight tap into it there, to be honest, as well, but we'll go for that one. you can see here we have a high, low, high, low. We do have a stop hunt, and then we have the kind of displacement down. If I take my rectangle box, mark out the down closed candle, bring it to the side, we now have an FEG also aligned with it. But this is when you could also look at the 5 minute. 5 minute, you have a CSD here. This is a CSD here. You have this now creates an order block. You can see price taps down into, I think, 50% encroachment of this fair value gap, and now it's pushing higher. Now we could whip out standard deviations. I don't know if I have standard deviations projections. I do actually have them already on. Nice. So standard deviation projections, we could aim for this 2.5 here, or 2, sorry. The reason why I'm marking out the short, I just want to show for demonstration. So 5 minute looks bullish. 15 minute has this could just be a retracement. We can see what happens. Would I take this short? Absolutely not. Again, 4 hours below swing low, guys. It's kind of, you have to be an individual thinker, I guess. Would you want to be shorting that when you're below swing low? But we can forward test this. So once we get closure below the breaker block, entry goes there, stop goes there, and go for 2R. I don't think this will hit 2R. I think this will be a stop loss. You get tapped in here. Just kind of just accumulating. Going into lunch now, so we're in lunchtime now, and yep. So this entry as well was just before lunch. So as soon as we get to lunch, the less interested you should become, and you can see you get stopped there. So although this FEG didn't hold price, we did have a inversion fair value gap here that was potentially holding price up higher. Yeah, that's why I just wouldn't want to take a short when my bias shows that I would want to be looking for a long. So with that in mind, I think we'll just skip. So we didn't take a trade on Monday. I do just want to show if we do get that CSD on the 15 minute, that'd be just be a bit interesting to show with price. We come up here, reject, tap again. What do we tap into actually? Tap again into this breaker block. That break, oh, we don't actually tap into it. We miss it by a hair. Just miss it by a hair, and as PM session goes on, we just kind of have further down. So we don't get that CSD on the 15 minute here, so we pretty much remain bearish going into the PM session. Anyway, I'm going to move on now to Tuesday. So Tuesday we have got PPI news at 8:30. Now New York Open, if you know, is at 9:30. So we'll skip, or we actually see we can see what it did. If I just remove my markings, go to the 5 minute, that might be easier. So at 8:30. About here, this wasn't a big news event, but had a bit of news. So I'm going to jump now to, actually I'm going to show you the 4 hour before I jump to actually New York session. So New York session the next day, it just looks like we're going lower, doesn't it really? This is a hard one, so price isn't actually, we're not at a location, at any swing, we're kind of just, That's a swing low, and the nearest FVG, I mean, we filled it, but the next nearest FVG is like up here. Again, we can look at the daily. So Monday put in a this low here. Potentially we could just be going lower, to be honest. Could just be going lower. I think I'd want to see market structure. Sorry, the 1 hour looks still bearish. I don't see a CSD at all here. So let's go into New York session. Yeah, I don't really have a bias, guys. This is really don't have a bias. Interested to see what New York Open does. I think at a time like this is when I'm gonna probably mark out 8:30 open. So I haven't shown this before, but I like to sometimes use 8:30 open as either a place where it's gonna use it for support or use it as resistance. So we have 8:30 open up down here. So this is 8:30 open. I'd either want price to use 8:30 open as a support for price higher or as resistance lower. Bearing in mind we have on the 15-minute we're not even at opening price. Yes, we are in an FVG. But yeah, there's nothing. This would be sell side. So we tap into 8:30. Clearly going lower. Bear in mind there is nothing to even take here. You could say you have this breaker block here, but yeah, I want to look for a setup within New York session. This is just looking like we're going lower and lower. Yeah, there's literally nothing here. Don't get a stop hunt here. So this is not valid for me. And now we have 8:30 here, so I'd expect price to use 8:30 to go lower. We tap 8:30 again. Clearly we're not getting that inspection that I was hoping for. We have this swing low that we end up taking. As I mentioned, we don't have a stop hunt. Yeah, we don't get a stop hunt once we take that liquidity. Now you could suggest that this potentially is your bullish breaker. Tap that bullish breaker here. I wouldn't bother be taking an entry here, to be honest, in my opinion. Probably would have got stopped out here if you did, if I did. Looking at the 15-minute, yeah, we just have this consolidate. This looks awful. It's just not a nice price action, in my opinion. Are we going to take this low? We do take the low. Go back down to the 15-minute. 5-minute actually. If I use my 8:30 candle, respecting that 50% of the 8:30 candle on the 5-minute. On the 1-minute. I think it's the 5-minute you want to use when you do that, to be honest. Even the 15-minute maybe. I don't know. That's just me looking at. Anyway, irrelevant. So 15 minute, we take this swing low. Interesting to see what happens here now. The 4 hour. I don't know if we have SMT here. We take this important level. So if we're going to reverse, I would want to see it here. Time is 10:36. Yeah, awful price action here today. You're probably thinking, why wouldn't I want to suggest this bearish breaker block? Has an FEG. I don't actually know what we tapped before that. There's no higher time frame POI for me. But I'm looking for longs. But I'm just trying to point out what I'm seeing as well, guys. Another sweep. Now we're getting displacement out. So 15 minute. To me, this is just a complete mess. The 1 hour, what does it look like? I don't know if we have SMT here. I can't check. So where is our breaker? So we have a low, a high, a low, a high. That's the high I'd use. That's just consolidation. Low, displacement out. So if this is our stop hunt, we'd want the highest up close candle before the leg down that took liquidity. For me, this would be this candle, in my opinion. High, yep, it'd be that candle. I don't feel comfortable, still don't feel comfortable taking a long position, and I think what's really important you guys have to understand is that we have the new 15-minute candle opening. We have a new 15-minute candle opening. So I don't feel comfortable taking this, so I wouldn't. We have an FEG here as well, and an FEG here, don't like that. Put my stop at 35, target 2R. We can forward test this. Tapped in here. Again, 8:30 open. Do you see what I said about 8:30 open? How it's either going to be used as support or resistance. Clearly here, it's using it as resistance. This will, I think, go stop loss. And it goes to stop loss. So this is just my thought process, guys, of like what I'm seeing and like how I kind of interpret price when I'm trading. You notice how I said the 15-minute candle. I had that displacement as it went up. Came back up to 8:30 open, and what you're probably going to notice here is that we actually have an order block here as well. This is we take this level here, we close below it with displacement, order block. If we mark out the 50% of the order block, it's respecting here 50% of the order block by the bodies I use. Bodies tell the story, wicks do the damage. You can see here we respect that 50%, we don't go close above it. Uses 8:30 as support resistance to push price lower. Still looking bearish, even though we're on the 4 hour looking for longs, guys. And we're kind of just going into lunch now, aren't we? There's nothing there. So low, high. Yeah, this is just messy price action. There's no higher time frame period. Like, this is just messy for me. This is just like, imagine you're trying to trade that. The 5 minute, I bet you looks horrendous. Yeah, it just looks like, it doesn't look horrendous, but it's just up and down, up and down, up and down, isn't it? Again, 8:30. Let's see what happens when it hits 8:30. You can't make it up. It doesn't hit it, but it comes to it, and now it's rejecting, going back up again. Taps it again. and we're going into lunch. So that's it for today, pretty much, for Tuesday. But you see, it keeps rejecting off 8:30. See how many times it rejected? Once, twice, three times. So I hope that makes that is insightful to you guys. Maybe use 8:30 open as a POI for you guys in your trading. See, just experiment with it. See what happens. What price does with it within the New York session. Mark out the opening at 8:30 and just drag across and see what happens. Also look at midnight opening price. So we had, if I show you this, so midnight opening price, so we have 00 midnight, opening price was 425.50. The use case is a bit different, but you can see this is opening price, what price does when we get to it. Again, go to the 5-minute, mark out 50%. There it is, the top of the wick. Bear with me 1 minute, guys. Getting a Discord call. So yeah, I hope that's insightful. I am going to pause the video and come back to this session at a later date. I have to go and do something, but for you guys it will just be quick. So now, awesome. So we're going to go to now Wednesday New York Open. So on Forex Replay, what we have today, we have a lot of news today. Most of the news is FOMC related, but I don't consider this. Well, this will be high impact news, so this could be a driver to get us to a higher time frame POI. But this is in the PM session, so we don't actually have to really worry about this. But this does mean we could accumulate in New York AM session. We have news at 8:30, so we can actually see what that news did. If we jump down to the 5-minute at 8:30, kind of just didn't really have much, but we went higher. Anyway, 4 hour, so what do I see on the 4 hour? So the 4 hour we are below these swing lows here, but the most recent information right now is suggesting that we potentially have a 4 hour CSD coming up. We took this low here, seem to be respecting this low. If we mark out 50% of this wick of that low, you can see it's being respected. So we could potentially getting some upside. Potentially we have this new day opening gap. I believe this is what this is, a new day opening gap. Yep. This could be our draw on liquidity. So price could be reaching in for that. So I'm going to have a bullish bias. So I'm going to go down to the 15-minute. And as well, 4 hour. If I go to the daily, even though I'm not using the daily, we can kind of see here this is potentially a sign of reversal. So yeah, anyway, we'll go down to the 15-minute. And we'll go see what New York Open has for us. So at New York Open, we have a 15-minute FEG here. But we also, which I notice here, we have some relatively equal lows resting here. Another relatively equal low here. Check the 1 hour structure. We are kind of just in a range again. I'd really like to see a break of that high and close above that level. So let's see what New York Open brings. Remember, we have not got any news in New York session. So this is just New York Open. I can mark it out here. This is just nothing that I can see at the minute. So we sweep a low, I think it was here. Oh no, an FEG. Creates a stop hunt. Highest down close candle for the leg down that took liquidity. So we have a, which is just a bit of a mess to be honest. Swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low. This would be our breaker block. We have an FEG aligned with it. I honestly, I'm gonna take this. So I'm gonna take this trade. I don't know if we have SMT here, so this is the one thing I'm going off. I think I'm gonna accept the risk here and take this trade. Get tapped in here. 2R. Okay, so that's another winning trade there. I think it was clear that price wanted to go for this high here, potentially is going higher. But yeah, I'd be done for the day at New York Open. That was a nice little trade. And now we're sitting at 5,390 or 5,400 pretty much. See if it potentially gives another opportunity at an entry. No. Goes just shy. And then it goes high, but I don't really care what happens now. I'm pretty much done for the day. I mean, you did have another breaker block here. FEG aligned with it. But does it get tapped again? Gets tapped there. I don't know what the high time frame is, by the way, on this. I don't know if it's a 15-minute continuation or potentially an order block, but I'm just, curious. No, no. Does it tap our original one? No, it gets tapped out. Cool. So that's what it is. One trade, one and done. Once that happens, so we can go to next New York session. I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. I will have to do some edits while I record this video, just because of personal reasons, something that comes up. But anyway, so we're at Thursday now, New York session. We're now going to go see what we can expect. So as you see from yesterday, you see how I said that draw on liquidity was that new opening gap? That was clearly a draw on liquidity. We tapped into it and now we've displaced lower. So it is possible we could be seeing lower prices. It is perfectly that the potential is we could be going lower. I think we could reach for this low here. If I mark out 50% of this wick, you can see we're starting to kind of disrespect it. For the 10 a.m. close candle, I maybe want to see what that does, but yeah, we look bearish, to be honest, right now. Today we have no news as well. We could potentially get a midweek reversal, potentially. I don't. What did Monday do? Yeah, we could just be going lower. We have equal lows here on the weekly. Yeah, so we've got an internal to external on the daily, so I do think we're going to go for this low. Be interesting to see what happens after we take this low. So I think I have a bearish bias to this low. We see what New York Open does. So this is our, I would say, draw on liquidity right now. We have low resistance liquidity here, here. That's high resistance actually. So yeah, let's go down to the 1 minute. So we're going to be looking for shorts. See if we get anything. 15-minute POI. Oh, first low's hit. Second low's about to get hit. So I'm skipping ahead quite quickly, and I didn't realise that this was here. This was a breaker block. Didn't realise. This is what happens when you click buttons, guys. You go too quickly. So what's our higher time frame POI? Well, we know what the draw on liquidity is kind of clear, and we have an inversion for value gap here. So you could have used that as your POI, to be honest, but it's just down to personal preference. Okay, I will enter this just in case we do get another entry. We're tagged in here, and I'm stopped out. So that was a losing trade. The reason why I wanted to enter this was because we didn't go 2R, and because we didn't go 2R, that's why I put an entry in. So this is our first losing trade. Now notice two things. Higher time frame, we sweep this low, and on the 4 hour, so this is maybe a lack in my judgment, we're at a place where we would probably be looking for longs, correct? We're under a swing low here. Now, I probably got this wrong. Like, I'd probably journal this, be like, yeah, I shouldn't be shorting this. I should be looking for a long. Reason being is that you now have taken your higher time frame POI, and you get displacement now. You get displacement now out of your POI area after we took it. And you have all of this low resistance liquidity to aim for. So I actually we take a long position here. Now this is going to probably cost me. So this is kind of like me clicking buttons. We take a low, we take this low. That's the 945 candle. I'm not going to take this actually, because I've already lost a trade. I'm not going to take this, but we're going to see what happens. Tapped in here, and it goes to the stop loss straight away. The reason I don't want to take this is because I defined at the very start that we are bearish, and this clearly looks like our draw on liquidity right now. So yeah, it's unfortunate. We tap that inversion for value again. I'd say we just take, yeah, now we're taking it. So this is unfortunate that we got stopped out here. I do strongly believe this was just a losing trade. It's unfortunate. It happens with risk management. You will have days like this. This isn't 100% winning model. So it is what it is, but it's important that we understood what our draw on liquidity was. So yeah, at this point, we've now taken this low. I'd only be really looking for longs. And to be honest, if I'm looking for a long, I kind of want to have look at all this bearish price action. So yeah, we're going to move on to the next day. Okay, so we are on to Friday now. So we have news today at 8:45 a.m. where Powell is talking. But really quickly, I think it's important just to go back to that Thursday session and what happened. So we took this low, we had a draw on liquidity, and after we're taking it, we obviously have just been going lower. Then obviously we have today's open. So it looks like NQ is literally just wanting to stay bearish. Trying to get a bias here for price. I think I'm going to wait to see what New York Open does, to be honest. Here, I don't really have a bias. 1 hour, we had a bullish change in state delivery. We have now tapped into it once, the order block. Now we're just tapping into the order block twice. We also on the 1 hour. I know I'm using the 1 hour time frame alignment. You might be questioning it, but yeah, you need to use every time frame. Well, by every time frame I mean the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and the 15 minute, the 5 minute, and the 1 minute. You need to understand what price is doing on other levels, and it really paints a picture of what to expect. So for me here, if we are going to stay bullish, because right now we have put in a lower low, it is the possibility we could have a change in the state delivery here on the 1 hour. If that's the case, then I know we're probably going to go for these relatively equal lows, and we probably will end up going lower. But if we respect this down close candle here, up close candle low here, then I would look for potential further up continuation. So Powell was speaking at 8:45. He has spoken, so he spoke from here. We've now tapped into this higher time frame POI that I had marked out here. We have 30 minutes until the 4 hour closes. We are currently below a swing low, or a low. This is a swing low on a lower time frame. You see there, that's a swing low on the lower time frame. So I'd be still looking for longs. So I'm going to go to 1 minute. I'm going to see what New York Open brings. So at New York Open, we have a sweep of a low, and we're getting bullish behavior. Now we do have here a bearish FEG. If I go on the 30 minute, we had a CSC. I think I'm gonna I see this setup. I see this setup. Now for me, I would take this. Or would it be better for me to wait for more information such as 10 a.m.? I think I'm going to wait till 10 a.m. But we can, again, forward test this. And to be fair, it's nearly round 2R already. Okay. It's gone 2R without me. Okay. I'm absolutely fine with that. If I had a limit placed, it's taken off now. It does not matter anymore. This trade's gone 2R without me. I'm absolutely fine with letting this run. If we are going to go higher, we potentially might get another chance later. So we're just going to let price do its thing. I'm just watching what price is doing here. If we're going to get a 15-minute CSD, I really want to see a close above here. And that's asking for quite a lot. So we're now up here. This is really strong bullish momentum. This is very strong. Okay. What time is it here? So we've got a few more minutes, 2 more minutes. Where did we close? Okay, so we're going to have to wait another 15 minutes now because we didn't get a CSD. We did not get a CSD. I'm also going to mark out 8:30 open. If we're going to go higher, I'd want 8:30 open to support, at least be as support for price to go higher. I also want to just double check where midnight open is. Midnight open is right above. Midnight open's actually here. Okay. So midnight open's way below. So yeah, I pretty much have to wait 15 minutes. So what I would say as well, we have taken a swing high here. We have a high, a low. So I'm just marking out what I'm seeing. So you have a, is this a high? It's an equal high. High. So yeah, there's no. I wouldn't class that as bearish. Bearish breaker. I wouldn't class it. So I need to wait 15 minutes pretty much. I need to wait till 10 AM. Okay, we're at 10 AM and we've just tapped 8:30. We are now at 10:30 in a 15-minute bullish FEG. I'm going to be looking for a long. Okay, now we've slept, so probably going to sweep this low if we're going to go higher. Nope. Ignore this, I just want to leave this on the screen just so I can kind of sort of forward test it. This is our original breaker block, remember? It completely wipes through it. And you can kind of see we are literally disrespecting it. We don't get the CSD and we're just disrespecting. Now, was there a bearish setup? Absolutely. This high here, this low close, respected it, left an FEG. However, I was expecting a bullish setup, wasn't I? I wanted 8:30 to support price, we didn't get that, and it's gone against our bias. Continue just to go lower. Yeah, so we are literally just going to go lower and lower and lower. This thing is staying bearish. So you could argue this is a bearish breaker, but there's no higher time frame POI. And I'm just going to do this for demonstration purposes, I guess. 2R. See why it's so important to have a higher time frame POI there. Now, highest up close candle before the leg down that took liquidity here. 15 minute. Sweeps low. taps are 1 hour. You see how we're respecting though this order block every time? I don't know if we have SMT here, we probably do. I don't know if we have SMT on the daily as well. Doubt it. No, there wasn't even an FEG aligned with this breaker block. We didn't get it at this candle, so this is now just irrelevant. And it looks like we tapped this. That's not a breaker block, sorry. That's not. So yeah, we are literally, it's now 11 p.m. Getting displacement out of this breaker block. Just seeing what price looks like. Yeah, so I don't feel comfortable taking this trade. Let's see what happens. It goes 2 hour without us anyway. No entry given, it's fine. Original, we have this original breaker block here. We are located at a bearish FEG there. So we tap now into this original breaker block. Doesn't obviously look like it's working though, does it? Oh. Don't know, did it go to our... And it did. The original breaker block went too off, so yeah. Clearly staying bearish. Interesting week. I think we took one trade this week. Now, would I have actually taken one trade this week on an actual account instead of just clicking buttons? It's very different. It's hard to say. It's very hard to say. Probably not. I don't know. Being honest with you guys, I don't think I would have just taken one trade this week. It's very different when you're doing on FX Replay, but this is pretty much this week. So that's. We've now got 2 more weeks left of June to do, so we can have a look at our backtesting stats. I'll do this for every week. So far, it's been 1 week. It's been 2 weeks, and we've taken 3 trades, and we've taken 4 trades. 3 have been a winner, and 1's been a loss. Yeah, so we can get all this information here. If it's useful for anyone, have a look. So yeah, I'm going to wrap up this one here, and I will make a new video, a part 3 to this backtesting session. So thank you very much. If you liked the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and if you're new here, check out the description, link to the Discord. Take care guys, bye bye.